Welcome back to 9 Holes, 9 Questions. Today we're joined by none other than Lewis Jackson. Stay tuned for some good shots, some not so good shots, but definitely a whole lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Golf and Politics, 9 Holes, 9 Questions. Here today with friend of the program and a dear friend of mine, Lewis Jackson.
Thanks for that.
This is the first time, I've been invited before, this is the first time I've been able to play in the Landrunner
Golf
Classic. This is the 9th edition, correct?
Yes.
We're going to do 9 Holes, 9 Questions. Also, Lewis is a candidate for the State House in Lawton, Oklahoma.
House District 64.
Go to lewisjackson.com. We'll probably say that a lot throughout the video. So looking forward to a great day today.
Awesome. Me too. Thank you. They got past that tree, it'll be all right.
All right, Lewis. First hole, first question. That's your first, 2018?
2018.
2018. Were you 20?
It was 19.
And we just kind of always had this sneaking suspicion that someday we'd be working for you instead of you working for us. And here we are, working on your campaign for the State House, House District 64. So, you know, tell our listeners, you've always had this desire to run for office. Like, what gave you this desire to be politically involved from a young age?
Yeah, that's the big question, because we don't really know why I have this interest, because it's not like my family's political or anything like that, but it really is just something that God put on my heart from an early age. And yeah, I've always wanted to do it. I'm just thankful that the Lord's timing and my timing this year worked out at the same time.
So we hosted you and your father at Southern Hills last Saturday, and he told some stories. Tell us a little bit about the briefcase at elementary school.
Well, my granddad was a lawyer, a retired lawyer, and so he had an old attaché leather briefcase that, I started carrying to school, and I'd wear kind of like a suit and tie to kindergarten and stuff. And you know what? I'll tell you, wow, it's laughable. It built a brand, because when I knock doors now, people go, I remember you when you were wearing a suit and tie to first grade and 10th grade.
I think you might be in the Ranger. I think we're good here, right? This is our best. 137 playing up to 147.
We won't be using that one, huh?
Oh yeah.
No, it's ready. Short. Hit that.
No?
Yes,
Got on,
sir.
Got lucky. That was a touch too heavy, but I think it's gonna work out. So, first grade, second grade, what political events did really stick out to you as a young kid? Current events that made you really think about politics?
Well, even earlier than that, I remember in 2004, Ronald Reagan's funeral on TV. And then I think like 2 years later, 2006, was Gerald Ford passed away. And I vividly remember watching both of those services on TV, on C-SPAN or whatever. But also just local stuff, like my state senator was Don Barrington, and he would come to school for, we had this thing called the Junior Senator Reading Program. If you read I think 12 books about Oklahoma, you got this Junior Senator Reading Award, and so I remember that.
That's great. Well, shout out to Allie Seifert, who's brought back the Junior Senator Reading Challenge in her district. It's had great success.
Yeah.
And maybe we can get you elected and get more members doing that.
Junior representative. There you go.
I don't know, let's go straight at it. I didn't get it, dude. Oh, that's weak.
Gotta have plenty of these for my game. A lot of golf balls.
All right, so second hole, second question. Lewis, we're here at the Landrunner Classic. You started this almost a decade ago. Tell us why you started it. How successful has it been? And then also, why is golf in general just a great place for politics and networking?
Well, the inspiration was a tournament called the Blackjack that my dad and his friends started, and this is their 38th year.
38th
this year.
Okay.
And they started it after one of my dad's friends' wives passed away, and they were all at the funeral, and they were like, how terrible is this that this is the only time we're together for a funeral? And so they said, we're going to do this golf tournament. And I just said, I love that format. Scramble, fun, party the night before. And what it's turned into is kind of a college reunion. People coming in from New York, Chicago, Austin, Houston. And sometimes it's the only time of year all those people get together.
Great.
So it's pretty special. And golf is just about that, right?
Right.
Just, I can't stand people who, you know, take it a little too seriously. Yeah. I just like coming out, having fun, being with friends. That's what it's about.
That's right.
No pressure.
Fantastic. I think there is like time and place for both kinds of golf. Like there's something I still enjoy about the hardcore competitive nature of a club match or whatever. But it also it's exhausting when you grind on every shot and you got to be so focused.
Yeah.
It's nice to come out, have a couple cocktails, enjoy the weather, enjoy friendships. And I've always said that, you know, if you sit down and have lunch with somebody, you don't know if they're an asshole or not.
Yeah.
You spend 4 hours with them on a golf course. You can't hide your personality the whole time. I mean, no matter, you know, if they're playing good or playing bad, like your personality is going to show on a golf course.
Definitely.
So what do we got here? We got a par 4, 378.
It's another par 4, and if you just carry those bunkers, you'll be set.
So what's in the real Chilton?
It's club soda, lemon juice, vodka.
What you have?
And it's basically a vodka soda, but it's a lot of lemon juice. It's the
little more lemon juice than this.
It's the juice of 2 lemons, and then a salted rum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And back when they used to do
that might need to be my go-to. I mean, that's, you know, Tito's and soda is probably my go-to, but I think adding the lemon juice would be a nice touch. Back
when they did, you know, preseason baseball and they barnstormed, Mickey Mantle invented it at the Lubbock Country Club when they were barnstorming through Lubbock.
You working on Wall Street? No, not yet.
Well, we got something safely in place.
With what do you got? 40 guys? Do you cap it at 40, or are you open to expanding it? What's the deal?
I think 40 is kind of where I'm at the most. That, you know, live with.
Does everyone come and stay in Norman?
Oklahoma City, Norman. We've hosted it in Lawton for the first 2, and you know, it's there's a commissioner every year. So the commissioner rotates, and
who the commissioner is here?
Jake Hewlett.
Jake Hewlett. I like that, Jake.
And they kind of plan everything. They pick the course.
That's nice.
You know, it's all shadow government. I'm really in charge. But
we could tell that you were in charge during the photo session.
Hey, belt today.
Oh, West Virginia. Check it out. Get in there, somebody. My favorite belt. Today is West Virginia's birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. Formed June 20th, 1863. On the right side of history, baby.
I've been there. You've taken me there.
Oh.
Okay.
Unlucky bounce right. Oh, where are you going? Oh, that's terrible.
You know, to your point about you get to know people, you know, when they play golf through a golf. Some of my best friends, I refuse to play golf, like, because they're so. Every shot is like, oh my god, it's just like, you play twice a year.
Yeah.
Why are you beating yourself up?
Yeah.
Hit it, go find it, hit it again.
And there's days where you just don't have it. Like, you're gonna make bad shots. Like, that's really a bad shot for me. But like, what are you gonna do? Like, gotta go hit the next one.
Yeah. Have you ever played a step aside?
Step aside.
Yeah. So it's like a scramble, but if you take your A player's drive, they have to step aside, and then B, C, D hit. And then if you take your C players, A, B, D
but just
hit.
for that shot, then they're back for the next one?
Yeah. So everybody tees off.
So it's 4-man, then 3-man for every person's shot.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good idea.
We did it one year. Revolt. both.
About how to read Bermuda greens and the grain. So you see how it's all torn up right there?
Yeah.
So it means the putt's going to break that way. Anytime you see that, you know for sure the putt is going to break to the left.
That's perfect. Give it to a lot. That'd be hard. Great putt. Just do that, but a little more. Yeah.
Get in there. Let's go, Matt.
All right. So hole number 3, third question. Why is 2026 the year that's the right time for Lewis Jackson to run for the State House?
Well, my state representative, Randy Worthen, decided he was
Good man.
retiring. Great man. He did a fantastic job as state rep. But he'll be the first to admit he and I are going to have really different styles.
Yeah.
And he's really excited. And not that people didn't love what he did, but everybody's very excited for me. They just think it's going to be a good, young representation for Lawton. But yeah, it really was just the timing. Politics is all about timing.
Yeah.
You can try to plan, this year, and then in 8 years I'm going to run for this, and then after that I'm going to. You have no idea.
No idea.
I mean, Alan Armstrong wasn't thinking, I'm going to be
a
United
U.S.
States
Senator. Or Mark Wayne didn't think he was going to be the Secretary of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Mark Wayne didn't think he was running for the U.S. Senate when he ran. When
Right.
Jim Inhofe retired at the very last minute. So.
Yeah, you can plan. I always tell people plan so you have some guardrails, but don't be afraid to deviate from the plan.
We're going to do a GoFundMe of our golf and politics listeners to get this young man a new grip. I don't even know what to say about this, Micah. This is the most atrocious thing I've ever seen.
Muscle memory, getting my hand dry where the sticky part is.
Are those cobwebs? What is that? Holy crap. Lewis, you see this? How are we going to have him getting any balls in the air with a grip like that?
That's worse than my shoes.
Woo!
Nice ball, Lou.
I'm getting better.
And so, let's talk more about this. You didn't have a primary election.
No, I didn't.
But people might think that happened by accident. I actually don't think it happened by accident. Why don't you tell our listeners, once you decided you were going to run, what did you do to get to work immediately?
Well, we immediately, the very first thing we did was cut a great TV spot that I've gotten a lot of compliments on. Thanks to you.
Yeah, they're a pretty good firm. I think we know what we're doing.
And, the other thing I did was I just immediately started knocking doors. I mean, in my first day, we knocked pretty much the entirety of East Side Lawton.
So in a matter of a couple of weeks, you knocked how many doors total?
It was 1,200.
1,200.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. We work on all these races, and I've got candidates. I tell them, hey, we got to knock doors. We got to knock doors, and they're like, I knocked 100 doors this week, and they think it's great. It's like,
Yeah.
the real the candidates are really after are knocking 50 to 100 doors a day.
Right.
Is this me?
You're up there.
Okay, I see it.
But, everybody has to find their schedule, right? And
You also raised how much money in the first week?
in the first 2 weeks, I announced 2 weeks before the finance report deadline. I think I reported 60,000, right at 60,000. And I was told by Dalton Miller, who was scoping through those, that for any non-incumbent, I had the third best raised in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Everyone
had a year, sometimes
So,
2 years.
But
So to me, that's what we don't count that as one of our victories on election night, your primary victory. But I feel like you doing the work, us giving you good advice, you won the primary election by nobody wanting any of that. They didn't want that smoke, right?
That's right.
They didn't want that smoke, as Shumby would say.
You just got to be, shameless. You got to be shameless. I call my friends. I just need you to match what so and so did. Yeah, of course. What they did. Well, they gave 1,000.
But in all seriousness, though, people in the district that are giving, you had quite a few people in the district that are giving and investing. I tell people it's not just the money that you need for the advertising, but you need validation from real people in the district that are invested in you.
That's why when everyone said Gettner Drummond was down and out, going to be dead, I kept saying he's raised more than all the other candidates combined. We got a lot of validators, a lot of investors around the state that are all in for him, and that's why we were first place on election night. But same thing for you. You got a lot of people in Lawton are saying, I've already given to Lewis, or I know somebody's supporting him, so why should I run against him?
Well, and when you sit down with people to ask them for their support, and you know they start asking, have you spoken with so and so over at the bank, or have you spoken? I was like, yeah, I have their support. Right. You know, that makes them feel confident.
Really good deal. All right, let me shoot this.
90 playing 93.
Lou, come on, beat it. All right, that's a player. Good shot. Nice Liddell.
It's funny, even having grown up in Lawton pretty much my whole life, the amount of people that you think you know everybody, and just the amount of people that it's like, how in the 27 years of my existence have I never met this person?
Yeah.
And because you know all the same people and stuff, but
I could have been a little more aggressive with that. It was way back there. You just don't want to get too aggressive. It doesn't look like you want to be over the screen.
Matt, did you have a read on this?
I think it's gonna just feed right the entire way. So I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Give it the pace. Like, there's no point in being short. We'll make whatever we have to coming back.
So he just kind of feeds that way the whole time.
Man, just whole time.
Hole 4, fourth question, and here we are, already back to
Par threes.
scramble par 3s, par 5s, just back it up. Well, Lewis, you often refer to Lawton as the jewel of the Southwest.
Yeah, it's not just me. Everyone does.
Everyone does. That might be fake news, I don't know. But why do you love Lawton so much? What was it like growing up there? Why are you passionate about the community? And then also, what is something specific to Lawton that's an issue that most of the folks at the state capitol don't quite understand why the issue is important to Lawton?
Well, growing up there was great. I had just about the best upbringing anybody could have, and my parents were involved in the community. It's a little shy of 100,000 people, and so it's not a small town by any means. And my dad was the athletic director at Cameron, and so that was the best job a dad could have as a kid, because you were going to all these games and watching sporting events, and Josh Sharam up there that works for Senator Langford, he grew up about 2 blocks away from me. We became friends in 6th grade. And so in the summers, my dad would leave for work early in the morning. He'd drop us off at the country club, and after we'd get the carts out of the cart barn, we'd go play, have lunch. Then his mom would come pick us up. Then we'd go.
Great.
And so there was a lot of golf. You'd think my game would be better for as much golf as I played. But
well, I will tell our listeners about this, and I hope this comes out right. You're not that great of a golfer, but I would take you to play golf anywhere, because I don't care if we're playing with all scratch golfers. You're not going to hold anybody up. Like,
no,
you know etiquette, you know the game, and there are times I've seen you get like. I'm sure you had some matches in high school where you got it together. Like, you have a golf swing that can get it together, but I've always pictured you as more concerned about everybody in the group having a good time and enjoying the day than worrying about your score, which is why you're a great invite to take anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm so glad I played golf in high school, because I got to play so many great courses that I wouldn't have otherwise played. Shawnee Country Club, Dornick Hills, just Tulsa Country Club, things that
There's so many.
I haven't
There's so
played
many great golf courses in Oklahoma.
Yeah. So that was great. Lawton taught me all my values, But the unique thing about Lawton is, like, my friends that grew up in Kingfisher or Shawnee or whatever, they're always like, yeah, and we drive into the city. We never did that. We had everything we needed there.
Right.
We have a commercial airport there.
Right.
So we never had to drive to the city to fly somewhere. You just fly out of Lawton. And that's what's unique, but it's kind of just isolated. There's no oil and gas down there.
Okay.
So, your state's biggest industry, you're not really in tune with what's going on with that. It's a big deal, but somebody the other day was trying to get me to compare Lawton to another town in Oklahoma, and I was like,
It really is.
it really is. You can't compare it. I mean, it's
Talk about the military installation in Lawton and how important that is to.
Yeah, Fort Sill is super important, and like we were talking about Tom Cole's credit, and even going back to the last governor, the current governor, every governor we've had has been really good about protecting Fort Sill and making sure the feds know how important that is. And so one of our biggest industries is defense contracting, and we have the FISTA in downtown Lawton, which is kind of an incubator for defense contracting companies, and they're really trying to follow the Huntsville, Alabama model. But no matter what branch of the military that you're in, if you do field artillery work, you're coming through Lawton. So
Gotcha.
no matter what, whenever I travel somewhere and I say I'm from Lawton, somebody without fail, oh yeah, my uncle was stationed there, my cousin was stationed there. Prescott Bush, when he was in World War I, was stationed at Fort Sill.
No kidding.
And the legend has it that he, being a member of Skull and Bones, dug up Geronimo's skull and took it back to New Haven. Don't know if that's true.
No, that's true.
But that's what they say.
It's a great tale, nonetheless. Tell us a little bit about your love of OU, and you still do cheer for the Kansas Jayhawks, right?
I do. I'm still trying to shake that habit, but it's hard growing up a Kansas fan and not cheering for them. And
So, I mean, did you like as a kid, 7th, 8th, 9th grade, were you cheering for Kansas, or you just start cheering for OU?
oh no, I was like, me and Josh grew up together. He grew up an OU fan, and we would get into tiffs all the time.
Oh, because you were a kid.
Yeah, and like junior year of high school, I'm going, well, OU's never had a running back as good as Gale Sayers. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Y'all are such a better program. But I quickly, wised up.
Yeah.
And, I visited OU as a junior, and I just was like, wow. And I applied to 2 colleges, OU and OSU. And I got President's Leadership class at OU. I was in David Boren's last President's Leadership class, but really what one of the big deciding factors was, I'm 30 minutes from the state casting. Think of those internships.
Right.
And
I knew
just all the opportunity. So my dad would say he just couldn't get into Kansas.
Put that in there. Make sure that's in there.
It's on the blooper reel, man.
So you've had the fortune of having a career in politics already. I mean, you've worked at our firm, you've worked for the governor, you've worked for the Corporation Commission, you've run your own company doing paid labor and door knocking and grassroots work. So what is the number one bit of advice you're going to give to somebody who wants to, two tracks here. One, the person that wants to work in politics like I do, or number 2, the person that wants to run for office someday.
Well, for the people that want to work in politics, the biggest thing is just, take every opportunity you can and meet everybody you can possibly meet. And once you finally get your foot in the door, don't be afraid to work for a little, Me and a friend of mine, we call it the slice of pizza and Dr. Pepper mentality. That's what you work for. And then once you're doing that, I spent a lot of time worrying about, okay, well, how am I actually going to make a living doing this? But one day it just kind of all comes together, and you kind of find your path, your niche. For those people running for office, you know, I would just say hire a good firm. And if you're going to hire a firm, a consultant, remember that you're paying them to tell you how to win this. You don't know better than the people who run these things professionally.
You're just supposed to say, just hire camp. That's what you're supposed to say.
Just hire camp. Yeah. We'll see if I win in November, if I can give that advice. But yeah, it's so frustrating to have clients that it's like, why are you paying me? If you're just going to do whatever you want.
Right. I mean, we had one client lose because they just wouldn't do what they were like. We needed one thing in the final week, and I told them this was going to happen if they didn't do it, and they didn't do it. They didn't win. They're fine with it. They, you know,
Yeah.
it's fine. They're the boss of the campaign, not us.
Yeah.
But I want all. I'm competitive. I want everybody to win. You know, I want to win this tournament today, even though we're here to have fun. I still want to win. I mean, your advice to somebody who wants to be an operative is just so spot on. Like, if you just show up and do the work. I mean, think about this too. I can't tell you how many kids turned down opportunities to work at our firm because they wanted to finish. Like, it was so important to them to stay on track at college.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, I can pay you instead of you paying to learn how to work in this field. You can finish college anytime. It took you longer than 4 years, but that was fine.
That was the best 6.5 years of my life.
Yeah. But the experience you get outside of the classroom is invaluable.
I think it was in my second cycle. I was taking campaigns and media class at OU, and it got to the point where the professor was like, and you know, blah, 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 blah. And then he kind of looked at me like, right? You know, you, because he was an academic, he had no idea what he was talking about.
There we go. Woo!
A little high, but not bad. Got a safe one. I think we'll take that one.
And I think nobody understands this more than Mark Wayne Mullen in Oklahoma. Like, Mark Wayne has some things that could have been attacked through the years, right? But the overall, he stays involved in the conversation.
Yeah.
So now, like, let's forget about what he's doing now as Secretary of Homeland. But when he was in the U.S. Senate, think about all the social media he's doing. People feel like they know him personally.
Right.
Because he shows them his true, authentic self. So if he makes a vote that they don't like, it's okay, because on a whole, they like the man that they see on social media. So we can have the rub both ways.
They're like, well, I didn't agree with Mark Wayne on that one, but you know, he's all right.
I think that people just need to be careful of taking hard and fast positions in the heat of the moment. Just always think through it. Just think through it before you put it out there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's long.
I think it's still on there.
It's got a chance, Lou. It's got a chance. All right, we got the birdie in the bank.
Yeah, it's definitely further left than you think it is. Or at least than I thought it was.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Good, come on.
Golly, that's so pure.
All right, 6 tall. 6 question. We've had the it's called the pleasure working at camp, also the pleasure cycles. And I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm not easy to work to. So why don't you tell our listeners 2 things. One, what is the thing about my leadership style that just drives you absolutely crazy? And then number 2, have there been any lessons at all that you've learned from me that you're happy that you're my leadership at times?
Well, the
thing that drives me crazy is you kind of like to shoot first and ask questions later. And so things get blown up to be much bigger things than they should be because you just like lose it for a second. And then once it's fully explained, you're like, oh, well, that's not. I.e. the invoicing thing that was taken out on a account manager when it was at. But what you did teach me, and what just drives me nuts, like in my stints in government, is how to work quickly and how to be responsive. And you wouldn't believe, like, at the commission, for instance, here I am, an emissary of a commissioner, going to one of their offices, asking for information that should be pretty quick. And it's like 3 days later, they get back to me. And the speed of government is ridiculous.
Yeah. Honestly, I think, too, though, it's why when we lose some campaign folks to government jobs, they don't always come back to campaigns because it's like it's the easy life. Bam! Way to go, Lewis. Way to go. All right, rolling into hole number 7. Seventh question. What is something that the average voter, as somebody, let's put it to rephrase the question, as somebody that works in politics and applying for office, what is something that the average voter just doesn't understand about the process?
I think the average voter has no idea what it takes to run a campaign on anything, like on any level. I don't think they know what consultants do at all. I think they think people just put their name on the ballot, put a few signs out, and then, hope for the best. They don't realize what goes into it. What I think they really don't understand, and what drives me nuts a lot of the times, I feel like they put way too high of a price, or way too high of a emphasis, I should say, on endorsements. And it's like there's very few endorsements that actually move the needle. I think, it just drives me nuts to see certain people.
I think endorsements have to be used appropriately. Like there's times where that validation is necessary, but an endorsement alone doesn't really, like you said, move the needle all that much.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a nice thing to have, but if you're basing your whole campaign, we've seen people base their whole campaign off an endorsement of somebody. Mm-hmm. It very rarely works.
Yeah, or just throwing a name on there that people don't even know. Like, I ran up a city council race in Lawton one time, and there's a lesson because we put the name of the incumbent retiring city council out there. Man, it's the thing we got the most dragged.
Yeah, you never know. Like you might be inheriting their enemies.
Yeah.
Like this. This is a beautiful hole. Probably right. Sets up nice. Not perfect. There you go.
My dad would say I hit the big ball first on that one. Nicely done, Matt.
I think that one's about 450 yards down there.
I think that, honestly, I heard from people when I was younger, what are you going to major in? I said, well, I think I'm political science. Oh, what are you going to do in that? You put keep money, all of this. Then I go to the White House as an intern, and I realize, like, it's a $6 billion industry. Back today, I just got done with the primary campaign governor here in Oklahoma. There's $35 million spent just on to get back. So,
what's so funny?
We're in a pretty good industry. If you want to do this for a living, there's money to be made.
Yeah. So many people, like, the political activists have been, like, trying to shame me on being in politics for my career. It's like, I'm very proud of the people I've worked for and the causes I've worked for. It's like, I've been thankful more times than like some of those Twitter warriors have done for Republican causes.
Well, I'll just tell you this too. There are lobbyists get a bad rap. He's bought and paid for by lobbyists and special interests.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's really unwind that for a second. what a good lobbyist does is they go to the Capitol and they advocate for an industry or a company that represents thousands upon thousands of Oklahomans. Like if you're the cattlemen's or the Farm Bureau or the CPAs or the doctors or the nurses or the, on and on it goes.
Yeah.
These are people that have a voice because somebody goes to the Capitol and advocates for their industry and talks about how legislation would affect their industry. Like, I don't know why we think it's such a bad thing that somebody's a lobbyist.
Dino Cox, who's a lobbyist for AT&T, who's a
Good guy.
longtime friend of my dad's and stuff.
No, it's way right. What am I up to?
He said that class of senators that retired with Don Barrington, so like Ron Justice, Don Barrington, Brian Bingman, he goes, that was the last good class, because at the very least, every single one of them would just welcome you in their office, say, all right, tell me your side, right, educate me, what do you want me to know? And they might outvote with you, but,
Well, it's asinine to think that if somebody gives you a campaign contribution, that's somehow buying your vote. That's ridiculous.
yeah.
Roll down there. Come on.
Oh.
He pulled his. Oh gosh.
What is going on here? This is a nice looking par 5.
What's interesting is, given my past work in politics, people think they know what I believe because of certain people I've worked for and stuff. And so when they ask me questions about certain issues, they're like, really? That's where you stand on that? I'm like, yeah. Like, well, but that's not where so-and-so. I'm like, yeah, I was running a campaign. Like,
I'm working for them. I'm working for myself now.
Outside, we're filming?
Yeah.
All right, eighth question. Outside of Guy Gordon or Liddy, Chip Colson, maybe Wayne Bowes, former guest on the Golf Politics podcast, you are the greatest admirer of Richard Nixon that I know. You think he's a very underrated president.
I do.
Let's spend some time, BA talking about our 37th president.
He's underrated, but he's making a resurgence. I mean, people don't realize that Nixon was the leader of the conservative movement from, for 2 decades.
Yeah.
Obviously, Watergate did a lot to taint his legacy, but, from the time Herbert Hoover left office until the time that Ronald Reagan was elected in 1980, there wasn't a successful Republican ticket without Nixon on it. So Eisenhower is vice president.
True. That's true.
And that 72 landslide election, I mean, gotta admire that.
Absolutely.
But he really was a fighter, and I like that embodiment of somebody that doesn't give up perseverance. He's always kind of the underdog.
Yeah.
Not educated at the Ivy, as he would say.
Like the movie, the Oliver Stone movie, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a great movie.
Did you go to Harvard? I went to Whittier.
Last year, I'm going to try to find time to go this year, but the Nixon Foundation does an annual strategy summit in D.C., and it's pretty cool.
He also kind of really did a great job of reinventing himself post-presidency. I mean, I wouldn't say reinventing himself is not the right word, but like, I guess shedding the Watergate fiasco and focusing on policy. He was a real elder statesman.
He
in our
was.
country.
Hopefully that will come back.
So, while Oliver Stone is not always historically accurate, we do believe the Nixon movie is not too fair. I mean, it definitely sheds a negative light on Nixon.
I tell everyone, like, yeah, it's a fascinating movie. Completely just makes completely just makes him look terrible, unjustly. But
I mean, it plays on maybe some of his worst moments, right? And exaggerates them to make a movie.
yeah,
I would say it's still a movie that I believe everybody, if you like politics, you need to watch. Nixon.
yeah. But if I'm trying to convince somebody to like Nixon, I'm
Yeah,
certainly
Nixon,
not
yeah.
going. Yeah, go watch Nixon.
All right, here we go. It's handy.
Nice little kick.
Oh, where are you going?
It's the left side.
That's terrible. Sorry, fellas. No, we're sorry. We're gonna start helping out here. You see that old cup?
Nicely done.
Get in there. That's a solo birdie, baby.
Well, 4 through 8, pretty good.
Not bad.
Number 9, ninth question, the question that we ask every guest on the Golf and Politics podcast. You get to have a dream foursome, you're a part of it.
Yeah.
It's got to include a politician, living or dead, a celebrity, and a professional golfer. Tell us who they are in your group, and also tell us where are you playing.
And it's everything's living or dead.
Right.
Okay. Well, for as many times as I've watched the show, I should have this prepared. But the golfers is easy for me. It's Gary Player.
Gary Player.
He's my favorite professional golfer of all time. And so it'd probably be Gary Player, Dean Martin.
Dean Martin from Steubenville, Ohio. Rob's
From
hometown.
Steubenville, Ohio, yeah. And a heck of a golfer,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And the politician, I mean, I have to say Nixon.
Right.
I have to say Nixon. I think that'd be a good group.
And where would you guys play?
Lincoln West.
Lincoln
Oklahoma
West in
City.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I'd make.
Man of the people, playing the public track.
I'd make those guys come there. Yeah.
It's a fantastic municipal golf course, though.
It's my favorite in Oklahoma. I mean, my favorite course of all time. Every time I go out to Lawton Country Club, I'm like so nostalgic because it's where I grew up playing.
Right,
and there's something about, and it's admittedly not the best course in the world, but
This is Perry Maxwell.
it's Perry Maxwell. It's open, which is good. But yeah, Lincoln West, I think that's the best bang for your buck.
It is.
in
It's very
public
good. Very
golf
good
in
bang for your
Oklahoma.
Pretty good take there.
Good ball. There we go.
You know what I thought before I hit that was, okay, I'm not going to try to kill this one. We got in the water. I'm just going to do a nice swing. Why don't I do that every time? You know?
Come on, honey.
Where y'all going?
Come on.
Where y'all going? I think we're going.
What do you think? Now that West Virginia is really good at college baseball, I'm like into it. I love baseball. I just kind of care less about the Pirates anymore. They just never compete.
Yeah.
Um, There's a lot I don't like about Major League Baseball, like trying to whitewash history.
I love baseball. Like, it was my first sport I played growing up. It's what I love. But, man, there's too many games to follow. It's like,
The college is perfect.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to. Funny. Oh.
foursome. Sign up for our email newsletter. Follow us anywhere where you get your social media. We're going to keep bringing you great content like we did today.